I've seen some wild theories out there, people saying Ratio and Kafka are sharing the same bathtub in their Lightcone art, but here's the hard truth, they're not. Ratio's tub has this yellow accent on the outside, while Kafka's is all about that clean, no-pattern vibe. And trust me, I would know. I was in Kafka's bathtub for research purpose. Wait, why are you looking at me like that? Just focus on the gameplay instead. In this video, I will be discussing Kafka's updated complete guide, including her kit, best Lightcones, relics, ornaments, team setups, and many more. If you're new here, I am CaptainNPlays. Without further ado, let's dive in. Kafka, the Nihility Lightning unit, is still one of the best dot damage dealers in the game. Her kit is solid, and even after a year, I still love calling her the dot queen. Kafka's basic attack deals lightning damage equal to 100% of Kafka's attack to a single enemy. So, you should spam it as much as you want to recover a skill point. Her skill unleashes a surge of lightning damage, hitting a single target for 160% of her attack. Adjacent enemies also get hit with 60% of her attack as lightning damage. If the target is already affected by a dot, all the dots on that enemy will instantly deal damage equal to 75% of their original effect. Kafka's ultimate strikes all enemies with lightning damage, equal to 80% of her attack. Each enemy has a 100% base chance to become shocked, causing them to take immediate damage from their shock state, equal to 100% of its original damage. The shock effect lasts for 2 turns, and while its active enemies take additional lightning dot equal to 290% of Kafka's attack at the start of each turn. Whenever an ally uses a basic attack on an enemy, Kafka launches one follow-up attack via her talent, dealing lightning damage equal to 140% of her attack to that target. This follow-up has a 100% base chance to shock the enemy, similar to the effect from her ultimate, lasting for 2 turns. This can happen once per turn. Upon using her technique, Kafka attacks all enemies within a certain range, dealing lightning damage equal to 50% of her attack. Each enemy hit has a 100% base chance to be shocked, with the same effect as her ultimate, lasting 2 turns. Kafka's traces further enhance her kit and are named Torture, Plunder, and Thorns. When Kafka uses her ultimate, all dots currently affecting the enemy, not just shock, will immediately deal their damage. If Kafka defeats an enemy while they are shocked, she regenerates 5 energy. The base chance to inflict shock with Kafka's ultimate, technique, or her talent's follow-up attack increases by 30%. To maximize Kafka's dot performance, if you have the enough jades, consider her signature 5-star Lightcone. Patience is all you need. It increases your damage by 24% and boosts your speed by 4.8% after each attack, stacking up to 3 times. Additionally, if you hit an enemy not already afflicted by a road, there's a 100% base chance to inflict it, causing them to take lightning dot equal to 60% of your attack at the start of each turn for 1 turn. There are also some solid 4-star options. Good Night and Sleep Well, S5, is a strong choice. For every debuff on the target, the wearer's damage increases by 24%, stacking up to 3 times. This boost applies to dot as well. Just keep in mind that you'll need to maintain 3 debuffs on the enemies to maximize the performance of this Lightcone. This 4-star Lightcone will be my top recommendation. If you don't have Good Night and Sleep Well, then Eyes of the Prey, S5, or Fermata, S5, are excellent alternatives with similar damage output between these two. Eyes of the Prey, S5, increases your effect hit rate by 40% and boosts dot damage by 48%. Fermata increases the wearer's break effect by 32%, and their damage to enemies afflicted with shock or wind shear by 32%, which also applies to dot. However, note that with Fermata, the Lightcone's performance might drop if enemies aren't consistently affected by shock or wind shear. Lastly, if you don't have any of those Lightcones, then before the tutorial mission starts and Incessant Rain are your last options. Since Kafka doesn't rely on crit damage, so for the Relic set, you can go for the Band of Sizzling Thunder set. The 2-piece set boosts lightning damage by 10%. While using the skill, the 4-piece set increases the wearer's attack by 20% for 1 turn. Another option is to mix the 2-piece Band of Sizzling Thunder with 2-piece Pioneer of the Dead Waters. This combination gives Kafka a 10% boost to lightning damage and a 12% increase in damage dealt to enemies with a debuff. However, if you're looking for a real game changer, the Prisoner in Deep Confinement set is the way to go. This set enhances Kafka's overall damage output more than the others mentioned. The 2-piece bonus gives you a 12% attack boost, and the 4-piece bonus allows the wearer to ignore 6% of the target's defense for each dot the enemy is afflicted with, up to a maximum of 3 dots. While Space Sealing Station used to be the go-to choice for Kafka, things have shifted. Some might still prefer it, but I believe Firmament Frontline Glamoth is currently the best ornament for her. This set increases your attack by 12%, and when your speed is between 135 and 160, you deal an extra 12% to 18% more damage. Although reaching higher speed might be a challenge for some, farming this ornament set is definitely worth the effort. Main stats: go for attack percent on the body. For boots, speed is must-have. On the planar sphere, lightning damage percent is ideal, but attack percent works too. And for the rope, stick with attack percent. Substats: focus on speed, attack percent, and effect hit rate. Prioritize speed and attack percent as your substats. Endgame stats: you'll want 3000 plus HP, 900 plus defense, around 3400 to 3800 plus attack, around 134 to 160 speed, and at least 29% effect hit rate. If you already have Kafka and are debating whether to go for her signature Lightcone or her Eidolons, here's what you should consider. Both her E1 and Lightcone are excellent, so if you don't have Good Night and Sleep Well, and it's not at Superimposition 5, I'd recommend going for her 5-star Lightcone. However, if you do have Good Night and Sleep Well at S5, then focus on her Eidolon. Here are some good stuffs about Kafka. She shines as the Dot Queen, making her incredibly versatile, with both strong single target and AoE damage. A major advantage is that she doesn't require any crit damage or crit rate, and her consistent damage output through dots ensures she's always dealing damage. However, here are some not-so-good stuffs about her. She will literally take your soul. Don't understand what I mean? Well, you'll have to invest a huge amount of time and effort to build her and her teammates for optimal performance. And you'll also need to ensure she reaches the necessary speed for her to perform at her best. The team setup you see on the screen is based on the latest Memory of Chaos data. Feel free to pause the video and start planning your squad. If you're curious about my personal setup, I usually run with Acheron, Black Swan, and Kafka, paired with either Luocha or Aventurine depending on the situation. Imagine being on the same team with these beautiful maidens. Lucky bastards. And that wraps up today's video, Captain N Gaming fam. I have a dream. One day I will reach exactly 1,069 subscribers, take a picture of it, and frame it on my wall. No joke, I'm serious. So please help me achieve this goal, and I'll see you in the next video.